Okay, today's little project is I've got a XP Turbo 2019 without a ride command, but I want the reverse camera, and I do use a iPad. So I'm gonna today put in a super cheap camera here. I found this cheap Chinese camera on Amazon for 50 bucks. It's got Wi-Fi capability, so I'm actually going to I'm gonna install this, and we'll take a look at it, and just use it to connect Wi-Fi to my iPad, and then I can click a couple of buttons and get my reverse camera on it. Here's the content. So you basically get with this thing, you get a hardwired switch or hardwired harness, which you can hardwire in. I plan on using that, and then they actually give you a really long USB adapter. I guess if you're using it as a regular car, that might be helpful. And then the crazy thing is, for the Wi-Fi, instead of just building the antenna into it, they give you an external antenna, and so that's what this is. So I'm going to kind of just bundle that up and put it in the bumper. And then here's the actual camera module itself. Pretty cheap, but hey, it's not very expensive. But here's the actual camera. It's got a little mount on the top here. It's got a plug for the Wi-Fi antenna that comes with it, and it's got a little power plug. So that's what this thing looks like. I had it out. I tested it. Video quality's not super great, but I'll show you guys that in a minute. But the main thing I noticed is the software that you download for this thing. It does not flip the video, so you have to mount this in this orientation right here, unless you want upside down video. It's the craziest thing. I can't imagine them not being able to do that simply in software, but for whatever reason, there's no buttons, no options, no settings that lets you flip that video scene. So you've got to mount it in this orientation if you want to do that. So just keep that in mind as we're mounting it. So we'll step around to the back here. I'll show you guys. Okay, so I got the back bumper off. I went ahead and just took it. There's 6 screws or something you got to take off. You got to take off a screw right here next to the whip mounts. You have to take off a screw on the side right here, and the side over here, and then there's 2 that connect here and here, and that lets you take off the rear fascia. And so I've got it right here. I went ahead and just removed one of the rear tail light plugs so I can get it off easier. And I've got a motorcycle sitting next to it, so I just stacked it on that for right now. But here's the actual hole that the OEM camera comes with. And so if you have an OEM camera, you could hook right into the power here. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to just use an adapter and just connect the whip on the tail light power. It's already fused, not a big deal. This thing shouldn't be using much power. I'm going to do that, but the problem is there's no bracket and there's no good way to mount that camera. So what I'm going to do, I think, is use some thermoplastic maybe to make a mount, and we're going to take a look at it in just a second, and then just kind of screw it into the thermoplastic. So let me take a shot at that, and we'll take the next step. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Okay, to make the little bracket for that, I'm going to use this Instamorph. It's thermoplastic or moldable plastic. This is just good stuff to have around the garage or house or whatever. It can be kind of expensive if you, depending on where you buy it and all, but if you can get it pretty cheap on Amazon if you kind of look around. But I usually just keep a bucket of it and just kind of use it as I need it. Basically how this stuff works is you just heat up some water, you drop your pellets in. If you want to color it, you can buy a pack of pigments, and then you can pour in there. But basically I'm just going to pour a small amount in here. I'm going to put some pigments with it, and then I'm going to take it out and I'm going to mix it up kind of like Play-Doh, and then form it around the camera to form kind of a mount mold for it. So give it a shot here. I can't do that with my camera in my hands, so we have to put the camera down. Okay, just poured in some of the pellets here, and just put a few pellets, maybe not even a quarter teaspoon, maybe 20 pellets of the pigment in here. It doesn't take much. And I'm kind of letting it sit in the hot water here, and I'll take it out in a couple minutes, and when it turns clear. So that's how you know it's ready to go. It'll turn clear. And you guys can see the thermoplastic is almost clear there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it out very carefully, because it's going to be the water's still hot, and I'm going to mix it up. And I'm going to you need to be somewhat quick, because what I'm going to do is after I knead it, I won't be able to film this, but I'm going to knead it, and then I'm going to just mold it around the camera that goes in there. And this thing's going to dry into really hard plastic, and then I can attach it to the rear bumper here. Okay, so thought I'd show you guys what it looks like here. I forgot to mix up the pigment a little bit on the back, so that's the reason it's a little white. It'll be completely white if you don't put the pigment in it, but you can see where I just didn't knead it long enough. But anyway, formed my purpose, so it formed a nice little holder for the camera here. And so that's the camera on the back side. Yep, so there we go. And then yeah, so now I just I may go ahead and start wiring it up. All right, let's take a look now that I've got it connected in. So I've got the antenna. I just stuck it right up here under the harness. Got the camera mounted right there. I got the leads for the antenna. I got it connected into the antenna, and then here is the power adapter. So I'm going to connect the power adapter to a whip pigtail, which are like $6 off of Amazon. And so I'll connect it in there and just tighten it down. So anyway, we'll see how it goes. Okay, got it installed. There's my setup. There's my Android tablet mounted. So normally I'd be riding in this configuration. I want to back up or see what's behind me. I just flip up, click the button, boom, right here. And that's the live scene. That's the video quality coming out of that camera. Just installed. You can turn on and turn off and reverse the scene left to right, mirror it, but you can't flip it upside down. So that's what I was talking about. Kind of the neat thing here is you can record and take snapshots. I don't know how useful that would be, but that's kind of interesting. I think where I will really like this is when I'm leading rides and I don't want to try to stretch my neck, or I can't quite see in the mirror behind me good because of whatever. It'd be kind of nice to be able to just, you know, when I pull up to a turn, you know, I'm right here, and I can just, when I pull up to a turn, just kind of flip over and click the button, and boom, see if people have caught up to me. So yeah, it's kind of neat. So we'll see how it goes. Again, it's pretty cheap. Like I say, I think I spent $50 on Amazon. They had like a $5 discount instant coupon you could click on when you ordered it. I've got probably $1 or $2 for the thermoplastic to mount it, and I've got a $6 power adapter on the whip to wire it up to the whip. So so yeah, so not too much money on this. Even if it fails, I don't really care. It's not like I have to redo a ton of wiring. I've literally just got one little bundle that fits under there, and so yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I'll give it a try out. Yeah, not much money, quick, cheap way to do things. If you have an iPad, an older RZR without ride command, yeah, you know, or you don't like ride command and you're using something else like I am, it's kind of a neat little way to do things. So anyway, cool. Okay, and so that is the final product. I have a camera in the back. Kind of nice.